Hello, welcome. Let's see here. I can see that we already have someone in the chat. I'm doing well. Abdallah, how are you? Hope you are well as well. I hope that makes sense. Hang on, I'm getting the chat ready to go here. There we go. Hello. Wow, we have two return visitors from last week. Hello. I miss hanging out with you guys too. I had plans yesterday. I was out with some friends at a fiber festival in northern Minnesota, or central Minnesota, I guess. In my spare time, I'm a knitter and a spinner. So that's like my main hobby outside. Oh, great tips video, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun recording that. And I have some more. I've been scripting a couple other videos. I'm hoping I can work on one this afternoon after I'm done with the stream. So, I appreciate that. I'm honestly just so pleased with. I've been thinking about, I know I say this every single stream, I've been thinking about doing YouTube for such a long time. I'm glad I just finally decided to do it because I'm having a lot of fun and I'm meeting a lot of awesome people. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys. So here we are. I had a bunch of things that I was going to do to get ready for today, and I didn't do any of them. But I don't think it matters. So what I was going to do was I was going to create a JSON file to just have like basically like a little local API and pull in this content dynamically. I didn't get to it, but you know what? I don't think we need to do that. Abdallah is the one who suggested that we use Isotope, this library, to do the filtering, and I'm down with this. So we'll go ahead and get Isotope up and running. The only thing that we need to do is we're just going to have to adjust some of our catalog or categories. That's all, and then we can get Isotope up and running. And then as long as we get Isotope, I'm going to knock on wood that we get Isotope up and running sooner rather than later. I just want to do a little bit of a QA because I know last week I was really struggling with this focus trapping. And once I had a day to sort of step back and think about what I was doing, I felt like I was really overthinking everything that I did last week. And that really what we want to do is just adjust the order of some of our markup here. So we've got button, container, and then button, container. And what's happening is where's my mouse? Here we go. What's happening is that as I tab through, it's going into that container, right? So I think a couple things are happening. We need to, it's okay to display none the drawers that are hidden. I think I had it in my mind last week that I was like, no, they need to be screen reader friendly. The screen reader needs to land on the page and have access to the content that's in the things that are hidden. And then after about a day, I stepped back and I was like, is that true? I don't actually think that's true because each of those containers are triggered by a button. And the screen reader is going to focus on the button to open those containers and make those containers accessible. So I confirmed my theory with ChatGPT, and I basically just went to it and I said, let me tell you the question that I asked it. I said, is a screen reader expected to interact with buttons to show and hide navigation, or should all elements be available to a screen reader? When designating accessible navigation for screen readers, the goal is to ensure that screen reader users can interact with the page as effectively as sighted users. This means managing the visibility and accessibility of elements in a way that aligns with the user's actions, such as opening and closing navigation menus. Yes, screen reader users are expected to interact with buttons or other controls like links to show and hide navigation menus or other interactive content. Use buttons to toggle visibility and ensure they have clear area attributes like area expanded to communicate the menu state open or closed. Manage the visibility of elements. Elements that are visually hidden, like a closed navigation drawer, should also be hidden from screen readers. So this is where I was like, okay, yes, I was very clearly overthinking what I was doing last week. So let's go ahead and get Isotope implemented so we can do our filtering. And then let's just sort of revisit. I don't even think that we're going to have to move around any of the markup, although if we do, I don't think that's the end of the world. I have a feeling that doing display none or visibility hidden, when those things are closed, will keep the tab moving past those items. So we'll go ahead and tinker with that a little bit after we go ahead and get Isotope implemented. So let's download. I haven't spent any time outside of looking at this in the stream a couple weeks ago with Abdallah. So we're doing it together for the first time. And I don't use a lot of libraries, or I haven't in a very long time. So, okay. Where do we download? Hello, where do we download? Isotope on GitHub. Oh, wait a second. Let's go back. These are the docs. Let's just download this. And oops, hang on here. There we go. All right. And then I'm sure we're going to have to initialize this. Okay. So is this looks like jQuery to me. Initialize with vanilla JavaScript. Okay. You can use Isotope with vanilla JS, new Isotope, so it's a class, element options. The Isotope constructor accepts two arguments, the container element and the options object. So the element, okay, var iso equals new Isotope, the element, item selector, grid item, layout mode, fit rows. Is this the filtering though? Do I need to go back to, I think I need to go back to filtering. Here we go. You can still filter with functions if you don't use jQuery. So we need to put, let me see here. We just use classes, right? You can filter with functions. The example at the top of this page uses a function to filter items when the item's number is greater than 50. Here we go. Hash of functions that match data filter. So should we use the data filter values? So this uses data filter attributes. This uses classes. If you use jQuery, you can filter with functions in jQuery. So we can do the data filters. Okay. Okay, so classes for the data filter attributes. Oh, okay. For the buttons, got it. Okay, I didn't see that part. I wasn't connecting that part. Got it. And then the items themselves have the classes, and then this is how you initialize it. Beautiful. Let's do it. Hang on. Oh, come on. There we go. And our buttons are right here. So our button is button container. We can give it a filters. And then we want data filter. Whoops, that's not what I want. And then dot lifestyle. And then these are our items. All right, so we'll do lifestyle and inspiration. Lifestyle, comma, inspir. And then for this, we'll do travel. Ideas and design. lifestyle. All right. Okay, initialize isotope, item selector, grid item, layout mode. You can choose other layouts like masonry. So is it going to change? I don't think I'm going to do a layout because I feel like I already did the layout myself, although it looks like this would implement a masonry layout for me. Okay, present position true. Hang on, I want to read a little bit more about that. Can we skip layout mode if I already did it myself? Bind filter button clicks. Okay, well let's just pop the whole thing in and see what happens, and we can go from there. Gosh, is this really going to be this easy today? Oh, it is going to be this easy today. Okay, so it is adjusting my layout, but let's see if it works. Wow, it really is this easy. I love it. Wow, I love it. Abdallah, thank you so much for telling me to use this. This is great. It has the transitions and everything. Okay, so we just need to tweak the, hang on, I want to take out the layout and see if I can just use my own. Let me take this out. Yeah, you have to use the layout. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Where's our documentation here? Okay. Agreed. Agreed. I really like it. I've known of Isotope. I mean, Isotope was a thing even back in the day, like when I was, learning jQuery. I remember Isotope being a thing for layouts. Okay, here's layout modes. Let's see here. Where's my ChatGPT? Okay. Layout mode. The layout mode determines how the items are arranged. Fit rows, masonry. Okay, so let's put in just masonry. All right, we just need to, okay, so this is good. We just need to get a little spacing in there. Oh, look at that. Nice. Okay. Okay, what are my options here for layout modes, masonry? Column width. Okay, items. We recommend setting column width. If column width is not set, Isotope will use the outer width of the first item. So column width 50, 50 what? So let's see here. 50%. Use element sizing for responsive layouts with percentage widths. Set column width to an element or selector string to use the outer width of the element. column width 50, gutter 10. To set vertical space between elements, use margin CSS. Okay. Let's see here. I have a message from Lena. I wanted to send you my front-end portfolio to get feedback, but for some reason I can't send you any emails. My messages are being blocked by the server. Is there any way to contact you privately? So Lena, my email address is info@angelajholden.com. Is that the email address that you're using? I'm happy to look at your portfolio. In fact, the video that I'm planning to record today is answering the question that you left on my last video. And I was thinking, after I started scripting that video, I was thinking that it would actually be, I think, a lot of fun on the channel to offer to do code reviews for people. So if you're down for me doing a code review or looking at your portfolio, I would be happy to do that. Let me know if that's the email address that you're sending things to. Maybe what I could do is set up like a Dropbox, link for people, or I have a few. You could also do a WeTransfer. Why don't? So are you just sending me like a link to that email address? I mean, my email is working. I get emails from that email address. Let me check. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm definitely getting emails at that email address. Are you just sending me like an email with a link in it? Okay, so let's go ahead and put in. We'll go ahead and put in a column width and a gutter, and we'll just play with these numbers a little bit. I don't think I'm doing that right. Oh, okay. That's what it said, and I didn't look at it. Define the column width or use a class or pixel value. Okay, hang on. I think we have a class, which is just grid item. I just discovered the Popover API. Can I link a pen? Oh, like a code pen? Oh, Lena, I'm sorry. I don't know why that's happening. Um, let me hang on. Give me let me see here. Try this, Lena. Try onetimesecret.com. Let me put this in the onetimesecret.com. Oh, hang on. Oh, stop. Try using onetimesecret.com. That should send me like a confidential secret, and my email address is info@angelajholden.com. I do have links turned off in the chat, and I don't want you and I do want you guys to be able to send me things, but I don't want you to have to obviously reveal anything confidential about yourselves. So if you want to send me something via onetimesecret.com, that might work, because I would get an email then from One Time Secret. I'm going to try to think of a way for people to send me things. I don't know why the email's not working. Trying to see if I can allow YouTube live stream chat. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how to allow links in the chat, honestly. Because I have chat settings for live streams, but none of them say how to allow chat. So let me see here. I'm so sorry, Lena. I don't have anything from you in my email. You know what you could do, Lena? Are you on Instagram? Why don't you... If you want to reach out to me on Instagram, like send me a DM, you're absolutely welcome to do that too. And then that would be like a private way to chat. Anybody who wants to, I don't spend a ton of time on Instagram, but I check it every once in a while. So if you wanted to send me a message there, you absolutely can. Let me see here. Go ahead and send me a message on Instagram and I would be happy to talk to you there. I'm sure I'll look at your portfolio, no problem. Um oh, here we go. Okay. I have more than one Instagram account and I'm not able to get logged into my other account right now. Oh my gosh, Instagram. Okay. Come on. Well, I'll go ahead and check Instagram after the stream. I have more than one Instagram account. I have a more like a hobby account, which is the one I mostly look at. But yeah, we'll definitely chat later. Okay, back to it. Let's see here. Okay, so column width, I'm going to do grid item and then gutter 10. Okay, we're close. We're getting there. Let's see here. I think the gutter is working. Let's just put in a value. Okay, define the column width or use a class or pixel value. So we already did masonry column width defines the width of each column in the grid. You can use a selector, grid sizer, to specify an element that defines the column width. Set a pixel value 200 to define a fixed column width. Masonry gutter define. Okay, so maybe the gutter is just not jiving with the width that I'm already putting in. So let's take a look at our CSS. Here we go. Yeah, so our, yeah, that's probably why, because we're calculating this width. So does it have to be a pixel value? No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's just do gutter between items in pixels. Okay, so let's do So we'll just do a width of, can I do a calculation? 33.333% minus 10 pixels. Okay, so the spacing's working, but the masonry part isn't. Okay, what are these? So these are 389.2. So let's just put in 389 pixels. Oh, that's a string. There we go. Oh. Should get masonry soon when Firefox and Google can stop arguing over whether it should be using grid or its own display type. Agreed. I think in our last project we turned on the Firefox, we read the Firefox documentation and turned on it was like the experimental spec so we could get it working in the browser. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm really surprised that that problem hasn't been solved yet, or that they haven't figured that out. It would be wildly helpful. I personally would love it. Okay, why is our mm, see, it doesn't like any of these values. But now it's not working at all again. The elements to filter. Oh, what's percent position? Is that the reason why? Okay, it was this percent position value. Wow, it still does not like this. Okay. So column within pixels, gutter between items in pixels. This element defines the column width. Wait a second. Okay, using a grid sizer element for column width, you can add a hidden element to define the column width if you prefer a flexible, responsive column width. Oh, okay. I did not see this. Okay. This element defines the column width. Then we've got the grid sizer, the grid item. Okay. All right, I'm just going to do 25. I'm going to do exactly what the example says to do here. We'll do 25%, and then this is going to be grid sizer and grid item. And then we also want the grid item to have a margin bottom of 10 pixels. And put in I mean, that's a weird way of doing it. Oh, but I think, did it work? I think it did. Okay, it did kind of work. It's not 25% though. Why does it break every time I refresh the page? Item selector, grid item. What are you barking at? Well, I don't know why it's it really doesn't like any of these options. Do we need that? Oh my gosh. Damn it, Angela. Okay, I just figured out what I'm doing wrong. For the third week in a row, I am not compiling my CSS. My SAS watch is not on. So none of this was being compiled. It's not reading anything. That's why. Okay, and looks like Isotope needs to be window load, not DOM content loaded. So something's happening here. Hang on. Okay. And yeah, we can go ahead and fix that too. All right. We just have to tweak this layout a little bit. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to have to write myself a note to remember. This is the third week in a row something wasn't working because I forgot to run my Sasquatch. So that's the reason why. Okay. But our spacing is still a little bit off. And I think it's because if we're going to do 25%, we have to calculate this value to account for the pixels, the 10%, the 10 pixel value gutter. There we go. So is that 10 pixels though? I mean, that's not 10 pixels. Oh, but it wouldn't be, if it's 10, technically it would be what, 10 on the left and right. But they do fit. I don't want 4 columns though, I want 3. Would it be minus 20? Maybe there's no calculation. I mean, that looks good. It's not. Let's see here. This, I don't understand the spacing. Yeah, I don't understand the spacing. Do I need to increase the... Do I just need to increase the gutter? Like, how do I come up with an even number? Okay, so the gutter and... Okay. My grid sizer is 33.333%. What should my gutter value be? The cards do not fill the container. Okay, so start with a 1% gutter for better spacing. In this case, 1% works because the grid items already take up 33% of the container, and adding a small gutter ensures the cards will fit neatly into the layout. If you use a gutter that's too large, like 10 pixels or more, it could result in extra space that pushes the card out of alignment. Okay, that's a string. That did not work. don't like either of these answers. Just tell me what the values should be to fill the container. Okay, yeah, let's just, if I do gutter 0, okay, so we'll do 10. You know what? I really don't want to, I'm really tired of dealing with this filtering. I don't even want the masonry layout. I just want the filtering. I already have the styles I like. Can I just not use the layout and only the isotope filtering? Yes, you can disable the layout management in Isotope and use it solely for filtering. Bind filter button clicks. Okay, which we've already done. Perfect. That's what I want, because we already did this layout and I was happy with the layout. So, and I find it very strange that there isn't like a mathematical way to set these columns and gutters. I just feel like it's so weird. And I also really do not like in the browser seeing, did you see all of this absolute positioning that's being used? I totally get why this library works the way that it does and why this is a good solution, but I was happy with my CSS only solution that we came up with, even though the height was really fussy for the mobile responsiveness. I was happy with this. So I'm just gonna use my own layout. Okay. We'll take this out. So the layout is none, and we need to get this up here too. Oh, hang on. Oh, you're kidding me. Come on. Layout mode, none. Item selector, grid item. Item selector, grid item. See, it still has this position absolute on it. That's why it's doing that. Okay. Um, Layout mode, none. Yeah, I know I'm right. I saw it. Isotope applies position absolute by default, even when layout mode none is used. ChatGPT isn't taking anybody's job anytime soon. Just FYI. There's no reason to worry. Okay. I mean, clearly I love it. It's very helpful for the JavaScript challenged, like myself. Well, Bailey, nice to see you. So far, we're doing okay. We're struggling a little bit with Isotope, even though it works really, really well for our filtering. It's just turning into a little bit of a wrestling match. So let's see here. So, in theory, I think it's fun. In theory, I can feel myself starting to get frustrated. Oh, excuse me. I can feel myself starting to get frustrated. Part of my frustration, though, sometimes just comes with the fact that I've chosen to let the world watch me struggle. And sometimes that is a little bit of a scary feeling that I don't like, even though it's a totally normal part of being a developer. Um, so that's where some of my frustration comes in. I think Isotope is is an awesome library, and I'm glad that I'm using it. But I'm also just like, why isn't it working? Um, it still has this position absolute on it. Um, is there something that I did wrong here? I don't think so. it's having a lot of trouble. Uncut error, no layout mode. Bailey says, if it helps any, I have also been going through some frustration with my project today, so you're definitely not alone. Plus, with you sharing it with us, not only do we get to see the struggle, but also the success that comes after. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I had a, let me see here, no layout mode, none. Was I supposed to change the layout mode? You can try transforms enabled false after layout mode. All right, let's try that. I had a week that is very similar to what you're witnessing with I had to build a new image gallery at work. Hang on. Transforms. I had to build an image gallery at work in Vue, and it turned out beautifully. It turned out perfectly. But I could not get the data from my content management system once I was moving it. Transforms enabled. Transforms enabled false after layout mode. Uncat error. Okay. But we do not have, but it's not implementing, it's not using it still has all of the absolute positioning. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We know that the masonry works. We just have trouble with some of the spacing. And let's get this in here also. So we know this works. We just have some issues with spacing. We still have the grid sizer in here. That's fine. I'll take this out. And I'll go back to 10 pixels. And let's just bring this down to like 32. Let's see if we can just get it a little further over. I'm just going to have to get over the fact that, what if we adjust this? I mean, why isn't there just a mathematical way to calculate the columns and the gutters? Does that make any sense? I mean, if the gutters are 10 pixels and the columns are 33 and a third% minus 10 pixels, or minus 20 pixels if there's 10 on each side. I just don't understand why you can't just do the math to set those values. Okay, so I'm not going to do a calculation. I'm just going to say 32%. And I'm just going to tweak the gutters until it looks... So do I need to add more or less? A little bit more, it looks like. Okay, well that looks kind of good. That looks almost perfect. Okay. So we have 32% with a gutter of 20 pixels. It is pretty darn close to filling up the column, and we have an equal it looks like we have an equal amount of space on the left and right. How does this look for mobile? I mean, it's okay. Well, okay, so let's do this. We can still do some media queries, can't we? Oh, can we? Um, oh, is it because, I mean, does this have any impact? I don't think so, because it's all absolute positioning. See, everything has absolute positioning. It's calculating all this absolute positioning. Okay, so we'll stick with it. I'm not gonna touch it or do anything with it. I don't think it's ideal. Um, I don't think it's ideal. I could tell that masonry, or excuse me, isotope was probably developed before. I mean, I remember isotope being around, when did I start? 2009, 2010. And that was the early days of people talking about responsive and mobile design. And you can tell that this was coded back when people weren't thinking a lot about that. Because this, I mean, this could look better on mobile. But I'm not going to worry about it too much because I do really like the filtering. We have some even spacing. It fills the container. And technically, yes, it is responsive. So if we go down to like, I mean, hmm. Yeah, okay. I think we just do need some media queries, don't we? Um, so we'll just do 49% and then auto. There we go. No, we're way off screen here. Hang on. Okay, so it's still accounting for that gutter. So we'll do, I don't know, 99? 98? Anyone? Yeah, we'll do. Okay. You know, it's a little weird, but I do really like the filtering. Okay. All right, let's tweak this a little bit. Hmm. Do you just not want to change in the browser? I think it has to refresh to recalculate. That must be it. So let's just try, I don't know, we'll try 47. There we go. I'm going to do 45. It's a little bit better. Oh, whoops, sorry. Thank you. Okay. So we'll stick with this. We'll stick with this. Yeah, I think this is something I think I like Isotope because I like the filtering. I do not love I don't love the layout, clearly. I'm not a fan. So, you know what that means? That means that there's more masonry layouts and more filtering in our future. Yes. So, there's more in our future. For now though, I'm good with this. I am good with this. So, I find it frustrating that I don't understand the math. Yeah, I think that's a little bit strange. But I also get that they're doing this absolute positioning calculating. Um, I get that that's how they're doing that. So, and yeah, obviously, um, once the browser wars are over and masonry is implemented, Isotope is a good placeholder till you feel confident enough to write your own JS to control the filtering. Agreed. I think I really want this layout for my own personal portfolio because my website is 10 years old and I need to redo my website. And that was another motivation that I had for even doing this live stream, is that I would take some of these layouts and build them out and then put together a site for myself. Um, and Abdallah suggested using Isotope, and I thought it was a great idea. And clearly, the filtering is really nice. That was absolutely seamless. But the fact that they have the filtering and the layout so tightly wound together is a little bit disappointing. That you can't just do one or the other. So, for that reason, you are absolutely right. The filtering is in our future. The filtering is in our future because I was happy with the masonry layout that I came up with, even though it was very column focused and the height was really fussy for the mobile responsiveness. I was still happy with what I had come up with until the browser wars are settled and we actually have grid masonry implemented in the browsers. So, yeah, for now, I think this is a good solution. I'm good with the spacing, and I am going to implement this because I am going to use this. I am going to build my portfolio, and I am going to get this implemented on my site. And then just expect sometime in the next couple of months that I might revisit this. So before we do some QA and we clean up our focus trapping, just a reminder of what we're going to start next week. We're going to start the front end mentor product list with cart free challenge. So this is what we're going to start working on next week. It's going to be HTML, CSS, and JS. Abdallah asked me to write it with all vanilla vanilla CSS. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I am going to do, I did not realize until just a couple of months ago that MDN CSS nesting. I had no idea that there was nesting in vanilla CSS. I had no idea until a couple of months ago. I will say this, when you do nesting in vanilla CSS, you cannot change the nesting values in the dev tools to get them to change in the browser. That's something I learned doing the nesting. I also am so used to writing Sass or SCSS. I'm so used to using Sass or SCSS that I sometimes slip into Sass without realizing it. So you guys, if you see me doing that, you might have to remind me that we are writing vanilla CSS. So I'm just forewarning you in case that gets frustrating. I just need reminders. Sometimes I forget. So, and Bailey is saying, oh my God, it feels like it came up so fast. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Bailey, but I think you are a few seconds behind the stream. The stream has like a 20-second delay on it. So I'm not sure what you're referring to. Let me know. But yeah, we are definitely going to go ahead. Oh, I think you're just talking about the timing because Bailey, you were here when we had the conversation with Abdallah about using this. And I said we couldn't do this until after we did the filter. Gotcha. Now I know what you're talking about. So I'm really excited to do this. I don't know how long this is going to take. It takes as long as it takes because I think it's going to be fun. I love building product carts. I actually did build an e-commerce site in Angular, which I didn't finish. Let's see here. I'll show it to you guys. Let's go back here. So this is a little side project that I have called Fiber and Craft because I love to knit and spin, and sometimes I also dye my own yarn. That's like my hobby. So I did build, let's see here. You know what? I wonder if I have to start up the database also. I also did I used MongoDB and I built an Express server to build the API. Let's do this. Oh, yeah, I guess it wouldn't really show, would it? I think we just need to... How do I wake you up? Here we go. You can knit a square. That is your knowledge of knitting. You know what? That counts. That counts. I've knit a lot of stuff. I've knit a lot of stuff, including one sweater that I have yet to finish. But I love to knit. I knit hats, mittens, scarves, shawls. I have a sweater that I'm almost done knitting. Let's see here. You're gonna make me do this now, Postman. Okay. Well, my API is not waking up, so you'll have to trust me that I built an e-commerce site using MongoDB, and clearly my API, I wonder if my MongoDB got turned off because I hadn't been using it. So, well, I'll get it ready and show it to you guys next week, but I did start building an e-commerce site with a cart, and I had all of that stuff working in Angular, so I'm very much looking forward to doing this with vanilla JavaScript. So I think this is going to be a great project. This is what we're going to start next week. I don't have a time frame for how long it's going to take to get it done. It takes as long as it takes. But yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So anybody who wants to code along with us, that is what we're going to start working on next week. So, okay. So the next thing that we need to do here is we just need to adjust the visibility when the containers are closed. And what I'm trying to do is just make sure that on page load, when we start tabbing, we can just tab past those containers. And I think we can tab past the containers as long as we have the correct visibility when they're closed. So let's see here. So it's the search drawer and it's the navigation drawer. So we'll say visibility, whoops. Visibility, oh dang it. I can't see my keyboard. Visibility hidden, and then we want visibility visible, and then same for our navigation drawer. Yes, that was it. That was what we needed. Okay, so now when we open the search, our search automatically has focus. Yes. Look at this. And we have the focus trapping here too. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This makes up for all of the headache. This makes up for all of the headache. What do we think? This makes me so happy. Okay, the only other... So, literally, we solved the problem of tabbing by setting the visibility. I mean, I'm so glad that I had like a day to just clear my head and really think about that, because that was such an easy fix. And we do still have the focus trapping, which I originally wasn't going to do for the navigation. but I think I'm fine with it. I think I'm going to ask my friend who does accessibility at work this week about focus trapping for navigation. Um, but look at that. We go straight past it. That is perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Oh, that makes me so happy. I mean, I would have been fine changing around the markup. That would have been completely fine. But I'm really, really glad that I looked into that because that is just classic overthinking. Okay, so the only other thing that I think I want to do is make sure that our buttons, so if we're on inspiration, we need some sort of an active class on this button so it can be highlighted. So let's see if we can, that's all I want to do is add an active class to, or we could just, can we just data, let me see here. Okay, everything is working with the masonry layout and I found spacing that I am happy with. Can I add an active class or style the button that is active for the filtering? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So to be clear, I think I could have figured out for each looping through those buttons, but I didn't know if there was already something that could be implemented. So, okay. So basically, it's just looping through the buttons and adding an active class on click. Beautiful. And I think we have, where are our buttons? Take that off. I think we want all to be the button. If I, hang on, if I just put it back on. There we go. Yeah, so we can just have it in the markup and it'll take it out. Beautiful. This is exactly what I was envisioning. Okay, so I feel a little bad for how frustrated I got with Isotope because I'm very happy with the result. So, it was just a frustrating moment. But what do we think of this? I love it. I think it's great. The navigation and the search work exactly how I wanted it to. The filtering works exactly how I wanted it to. I love it. So I'm absolutely going to go ahead and start building out a new personal website for myself using this layout. I'm going to keep Isotope for now. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm really, really pleased. This is exactly what I envisioned. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Um, Throwing out suggestions, support, all that great stuff. Yeah, this looks great. I'm super excited, and I'm really looking forward to starting on our product cart next week. I think that's going to be fun as well. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day wherever you are. Have a great week. I will be back next week on Saturday and Sunday afternoon at 2. We'll get started. We'll get started writing our HTML and CSS and making our product page and product cart. Lena, I don't know if you're still here, Lena. I will look forward to talking to you on Instagram. I don't see anything in email, so I'll go ahead and check Instagram once we get off the stream. And yeah, I'm happy to take a look at your portfolio for you. If anybody has anything that they want to send me to look at, I'm happy to do it. I was actually thinking it would be a lot of fun to do code reviews for people, especially junior developers who are just getting started and want a little help. Nothing crazy, nothing, I mean, I've been in some code review situations that have been really demoralizing, and I don't want to do that to another person. But I'm also happy to do a code review for somebody and show you, just show you exactly how I do it at my job and with my junior developer, which is to just be honest about something that I think could be improved or changed, but also, be really supportive, because this should be a place where we're learning and improving and getting better. So have a great rest of your day. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for stopping in and hanging out with me. And yeah, until next weekend, take care. Bye-bye.